What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today I will be going over my picks from yesterday as well as a forecast going ahead as to what I have predicted for the rest of these conference tournaments going forward. So, recapping yesterday's games that happened. First conference I will go through is the CAA. So, yesterday we had Monmouth beating Campbell, which I predicted, and I also predicted Hofstra beating Towson. So going forward, I'm going to pick Hofstra to win this game against Monmouth and win their conference. Moving on to the Southland Conference. Yesterday we had Corpus Christi beat New Orleans, which I had correct, but I did not have Rio Grande Valley beating Nicholls State. And moving ahead, I'm going to pick SF Austin to beat Corpus Christi as well as McNeese to beat Rio Grande. I think these two teams are the clear favorites to win their conference, and either one can be a scary team going into the March Madness tournament. And then in the championship, I am going to stick with my original prediction in keeping SF Austin to win the Southland Conference. Next conference we will go through is the Sun Belt Conference. So the Sun Belt, there's no more predictions. As we can see here, Troy won the conference. I predicted that game correct. Troy really obliterated Georgia Southern for the most part. It was, as you guys can see here, Georgia Southern played. That was their sixth game in a row, consecutive, no days off. So that's pretty impressive. Props to them. But unfortunately, how this bracket's set up, there's heavy favoritism to the top two seeds, or really any of the top seeds. They get a huge bye. That's just, they call it the Fun Belt, this conference, because of the way the bracket's set up. So there was a huge favoritism towards Troy, and they ended up getting it done. So congrats to them. Next conference will be the SoCon Conference. So we had yesterday the championship, and this was a pretty solid prediction by me. I did predict Furman to win this game, and they did. So Furman will be back in the tournament once again for another year. Next conference we will be going through is the Horizon Conference. So I went 1 for 2 yesterday in this conference. I did pick Wright State to beat Northern Kentucky, although that was a pretty obvious answer in my opinion. However, I did pick Robert Morris to beat Detroit Mercy, and that did not happen. So Detroit Mercy ends up winning, making it to the championship. And in this game here, I am tempted, after watching Detroit last night, I am tempted to pick them here, but I have to stick with Wright State. I think they are the clear favorites to win this conference. Next up, we got the Big Sky Conference. So let's get right to it. Big Sky. So last night it was just these two bottom games here. I did pick Northern Colorado, and I did pick Weber State. So I did go 0 for 2 in this conference last night. There were some solid games. The Northern Colorado game was phenomenal. But let's get into the next round. So the next round, I am going to stick with the favorite in Portland State, and I am going to have a little bit of an upset here. I am going to go with Idaho to get it done. And then in the championship, I'm going to pick Portland State. Next up, we got the SWAC Conference, SWAC Conference. Last night, there was just these two games here. Alcorn State, I got right. They beat Alabama State. And I did have Grambling beat Mississippi Valley State. So moving on to the next rounds, I will go through, once again, an updated version of this bracket. So I am going to pick Alcorn State to win again. And I'm going to pick Grambling to also win again. However, I do think Bethune-Cookman is the obvious favorite. I mean, they are the 1 seed in their conference, and they have that transfer from Texas coming in this year. I think they have the best talent in this conference, so I am going to continue riding with them. I'm going to take Alabama A&M. I will be taking Florida A&M, and I'm going to take Arkansas Pine Bluff to upset Southern University. Then I'll be taking Bethune-Cookman. I'm going to take Florida A&M, and then I will have Bethune-Cookman winning the SWAC conference. Then to cap it off for today, for predictions, we have the WCC. Last night, Gonzaga, although I got to say Oregon State, they were hanging in there for a little while. Gonzaga did not impress me, not one bit, to be honest. But they did get it done, and they move on to the finals in the WCC. And the other game last night was a really fun game to watch. Santa Clara against St. Mary's. Santa Clara did get it done, so I went 1 for 2 in this bracket here for last night for yesterday's games. I did pick St. Mary's, and I was unfortunately wrong. So, moving on here to Gonzaga versus Santa Clara. I am going to pick Gonzaga here, although I would not be surprised if Santa Clara pulls off a slight upset here. I don't have any confidence in Gonzaga to win this conference, if I'm being totally honest. They did prove that they can beat good teams earlier on in the season, but I feel like recently they have been very inconsistent, and I'm not confident in their ability to win. Really, I mean, let alone this game, but any other big games coming up leading into March as well. So those are my updated predictions for today. I will be doing this going forward throughout the week. So every time there's a game in a conference, that next day I'll do a quick recap of the updated bracket as long as my updated predictions moving forward. So thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave your comments down below and who you think can make a deep run in March. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.